The drug policy of Nazi Germany. You may think that the Nazis were strict and harsh when it came to drugs, but the truth is that they inherited a generally tolerant drug policy from the previous Weimar government, which was installed in 1919 after the end of World War. Most drugs were permitted either universally or for individuals with a medical prescription, and addiction was seen as a curable disease. However, this does not mean that the Nazis were drug-free. On the contrary, many of them used drugs regularly, from the soldiers of the Wehrmacht, the German armed forces, all the way up to Hitler himself. The use of methamphetamine, better known as crystal meth, was particularly prevalent. A pill form of the drug, called Pervitin, was distributed by the millions to Wehrmacht troops before the successful invasion of France in 1940. Pervitin was introduced in 1938 by the Temmler Pharmaceutical Company, based in Berlin, and marketed as a magic pill for alertness and an antidepressive. Among other uses, it was even available over the counter for a while. A military doctor, Otto Ranke, experimented with Pervitin on 90 college students and decided, based on his results, that the drug would help Germany win the war. Using Pervitin, the soldiers of the Wehrmacht could stay awake for days at a time and march many more miles without resting. Pervitin fueled the Nazis' blitzkrieg invasion of France through the Ardennes Mountains, which took the Allies by surprise and led to a quick. But Pervitin was not the only drug used by the Nazis. Other drugs, such as cocaine, heroin, morphine, and opium, were also widely available and consumed by Nazi leaders and officials. Some of them had their own favorite drugs, such as Ernst Ude, the chief of aircraft procurement and supply, who was addicted to methamphetamine, or Hermann Göring, the head of the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, who was nicknamed Moring from morphine. The most notorious drug user among the Nazis was Adolf Hitler himself, who was under the care of Dr. Theodor Morell. His personal physician Morell kept detailed records of his treatment of Hitler, which revealed that he injected him with various substances, including vitamins, hormones, steroids, glucose, caffeine, cocaine, and oxycodone, a semi-synthetic opioid. Morell's records also showed that Hitler was given a drug called Eukodal, which was a brand name for oxycodone, and was considered one of the most euphoric and addictive drugs. At the time, Hitler became dependent on Eukodal, and Morell supplied him with large doses of it, especially during the last days of his life in the Berlin bunker. Hitler's drug use had a significant impact on his physical and mental health, as well as his decision-making and leadership. Some historians have argued that Hitler's drug addiction contributed to his erratic and irrational behavior, his paranoia and delusions, his poor judgment and strategic blunders, and his eventual downfall. The drug policy of Nazi Germany was a paradox. On the one hand, it was relatively liberal and tolerant, allowing most drugs to be used legally and medically. On the other hand, it was hypocritical and destructive, enabling widespread and excessive drug use among the Nazi elite, with devastating consequences for themselves and the world. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more untold history. See you next time.